Round 5 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Portugal. And it was Jorge Prado in MX2 Race 1 that raced to his 4th foxhole shot of the season, closely followed by Thomas Covington, Jed Beaton, Paul's Jonass, and Kjer Olsen, who survived a high side here to stay in the race. Adam Sterry was on a charge on his F&H Kawasaki. Good for the F&H team, with Beaton up front ahead of him, but not so good for Thomas Covington on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. He was in 2nd place, and he had to pull up with an injury to his left knee. Jed Beaton was then in 2nd place, but he got caught by Jonass, who went around the outside and into 2nd. Beaton on the 14 was then down to 3rd, and he was coming under intense pressure from the 19 of Kjer Olsen in the closing stages of the race. Behind them was Ben Watson on the Kjer Yamaha, but it was a win in moto number 1 for Jorge Prado ahead of his Red Bull teammate, Paul's Jonass. Beaton was 3rd. MXGP Race 1, a good jump for Jeffrey Herlings, and he turned it into a foxhole shot, the 2nd of 2018 for the Red Bull KTM rider. Just behind him was Tim Gajser for HRC. Cairoli didn't make a good start, and then he stalled at the top of the hill, lost a position to Jeremy C, where he got that right back though, and was in 6th position. Gauthier Paulin launched into 3rd up the inside of the Monster Energy Kawasaki of Clement de Sal, who then suffered a technical issue. Coming out of this left-hander, he had some issue either hydraulically or with a clutch. Either way, it looks like the Panda was out of the race. He was out of 5th place. Romain Fevre from Monster Energy Yamaha lost 4th when Tony Cairoli flew by through the wave section. And the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna of Gauthier Paulin failed to protect the inside as Cairoli charged into 3rd with 3 laps to go. And the Italian did exactly the same to Tim Gajser on the final lap. It was a win for Herlings in race 1 ahead of his teammate Cairoli. Gajser was 3rd. MX2 race 2, and another foxhole shot for Jorge Prado. Behind him this time was his teammate Paul's Jonass, Kjer Olsen, Calvin Valandra and Jed Beaton well placed, as well as the 2 Yamahas of Brylyakov and Watson. Brylyakov charged up the inside of Valandra, and at the same time, Kjer Olsen hustled the number 1 aside of Paul's Jonass. A lap later, it was the turn of Jed Beaton, the F&H Kawasaki from Australia. Made that move to get himself into 3rd and gave chase to the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna of Kjer Olsen. Beaton then came under attack from the 919 on the Kjer Yamaha. Ben Watson, who was having a great ride, made that move to go 3rd. Jonass then fell from 5th position. He remounted in 8th, but would only get back to 7th. Vital World Championship lost. Points lost to his teammate Jorge Prado, who came home victorious in race 2. Ben Watson came within 1/10 of a second of taking his 1st ever podium in MX2. That's how close it was between him and Kjer Olsen. The Dane came home 2nd, Watson was 3rd, Jed Beaton 4th, Brylyakov was 5th. The podium, though, was Prado, Olsen and Beaton. Beaton on the podium for the first time in 2018, his 2nd MX2 podium, though, having mounted the 3rd step in France at the final round of 2017. The points gap now, though, 14 points between Jonass and Prado. Kjer Olsen just 17 points further back. But Jonass does continue to lead the championship as we head to Russia, round 6.
Yeah, it was just a perfect weekend. I can't say much. Took both hole shots and led all the laps of the race, so it was just a perfect race.
MXGP Race 2, Tony Cairoli got the better of his teammate and tried to fence him, but he had room to manoeuvre as Sean Simpson took his first foxhole shot of the year on the Wilvo Yamaha. By the time he got to the top of turn 3, though, he was already down in 5th place, behind de Sal, Herlings, Fevre and Cairoli, who led briefly for 2 corners. He overjumped at the top of the hill. Jeffrey Herlings hit the brakes and flew right by. Gauthier Paulin went out on the opening lap. on his Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. A technical issue for the Frenchman. Dessau got himself into third, and that's where the Monster Energy Kawasaki rider would stay, always being shadowed by the Monster Energy Yamaha of Roman Febvre and the HRC Honda of Tim Gajser. Cairoli, though, was no match for Jeffrey Herlings in Moto number 2. The Bullet just simply disappeared at the head of the field. Their teammate, Glenn Koldenoff, was having a right old shooting match with the Russian, Geny Bobashev, but eventually he came through into 6th position. Herlings won the race ahead of Tony Cairoli, Clement Dessau, Roman Febvre and Tim Gajser. It was a perfect score for Jeffrey Herlings, 50 points on the board to win his 71st Grand Prix. Tony Cairoli now 16 points behind the Bullet, and Roman Febvre moves up to 3rd at the expense of Dessau and Paul Ann, who both suffered mechanical issues today, but it's very close in that fight for 3rd place at the moment. So another victory then for Jeffrey Herlings, and of course he continues to lead the championship as we head to Russia, round 6.
Yeah, I think I got a 16-point lead now, so I'm very happy with that. But it doesn't mean a thing, you know. In 2014, I was leading with over 150 points, I think, and same in 14 and 15, and still I didn't win the championship. So, but I prefer to be 16 in front than 16 behind. That must be said. But the stars are getting better, and it's awesome, you know, with a legend like Tony, to being able to fight with him every single weekend almost. And obviously, I was the better in the first 4 or 5 races besides Red Sand, but definitely looking forward to the next one in Russia.